Welcome to the Real L's podcast. If you want to grow, learn, and elevate, you're in the right place. Let's get into the conversation.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Real L's podcast. Before we get started, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share this episode. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other platform, make sure that you follow the show and leave a review. All right? I like to see what you guys are saying. Also, check out Tempered Edge Callers if you're a business owner looking to generate more leads and grow your business. Grab your House of Tempered Strength merch and also visit menoftemperedstrength.com for books, resources, merch, etc. So now we're going to get into today's conversation. We're actually going to talk about triggers, if you will. All right. Now, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Real L's podcast. I'm your host, Ray Hendricks. Today, like I said, I want to talk about something that affects each and every one of us, whether we realize it or not, and that is triggers. Now, most people hear the word trigger, they immediately think of emotions, but the truth is we can be triggered emotionally, physically, and environmentally. Now, the problem isn't that triggers exist. The problem is when we don't recognize them and they start controlling our decisions, our reactions, and sometimes even the direction of our lives. Now, today, let's break down what triggers are, how they show up, and most importantly, how to handle them. Now, first, we got to define what a trigger is. So what is a trigger? A trigger is anything that creates a strong response inside of it. It could be a person, it could be a memory, it could be a place, it can be physical pain. It could even be a smell or a song. Now, the trigger itself isn't always the issue. The issue is the response that follows. If we don't understand triggers, we often react instead of respond. And every time we react without thinking, we give away just a little bit of our power each time. So we're going to break down emotional triggers. Now, these are experiences, words, or situations that activate strong emotions. Think about it like this. Maybe someone questions your intelligence. Someone disrespects you. Someone reminds you of a past hurt, betrayal, or disappointment. For many people, emotional triggers are connected to unresolved experiences. When the trigger appears, your mind isn't just responding to what's happening now, it's actually responding to what happened then and somehow, what might happen with it. And that's why sometimes a small situation creates a huge reaction. Now, the reaction isn't just about the moment. It's about the history attached to it. How to handle emotional triggers. It's not easy, but we'll go through it. So the first thing you have to do is pause. Don't immediately react. Second, ask yourself, am I responding to what's happening right now, or am I responding to something from my past? Third, give yourself time before making decisions. Strong emotions are often temporary. Permanent decisions made from a temporary emotion, it usually creates long-term problems, just to let you know. Now, we're going to move on to physical triggers. Now, physical triggers, this is one people often overlook. So lack of sleep, chronic pain, hunger, stress, exhaustion, hormonal changes, health changes, all of these can impact how we think and how we behave. Have you ever noticed how much harder it is to be patient when you're already tired? How much easier it is to become irritated when you're in pain? Physical triggers can make small problems feel much bigger than they really are. Sometimes people think they have an anger problem when they actually have a sleep problem. Sometimes they think that they have a motivation problem when they're just physically exhausted. Now, we're going to talk about how to handle physical triggers. So take care of the body, get adequate sleep, stay hydrated, exercise regularly, pay attention to your health, and be honest about what you're feeling physically. You cannot consistently make strong decisions from a depleted condition. You definitely can. The body and the mind work together. So when one suffers, the other usually follows. We have to remember that and keep that in mind. Now we're going to go to not emotional, but environmental triggers. Now the third type of trigger is environmental triggers. Now these are the people, places, situations, and surroundings that influence your mindset and your behavior. Now some environments, they pull greatness out of you. Others pull the worst out of you. Now there are places where you naturally feel calm. There are places where you instantly become tense. Now, there are people who encourage courage growth, and there are also people who seem to bring chaos every time they show up. Environment matters. Now, you can have great intentions and still struggle if you're consistently surrounded by unhealthy influences. Now, we're going to talk about how to handle environmental triggers. So you have to pay attention to patterns. So ask yourself this: how do I feel after being around this person? How do I feel when I enter this environment? Does this place help me grow or pull me backward? Sometimes growth isn't about adding something. Sometimes it's actually about removing what's draining your energy. Protecting your environment, it isn't weakness at all. It's actually wisdom. All right? Now, the goal is awareness. So the goal isn't to become trigger-free, because that's frankly impossible. Life will always present challenges, okay? Now, people will disappoint you. Stress will show up. Unexpected situations will happen. The goal is just awareness. When you become aware of your triggers, you actually gain the ability to choose your response, and the choice changes everything. Now, emotional strength isn't the absence of emotion. It's actually the ability to remain disciplined when emotions are present. Now, today, that was a lot of information in a small period of time. But I want you all to remember, as you move through this week, I want you to ask yourself 3 questions. What triggers me emotionally? What triggers me physically? What triggers me environmentally? And what can I do to create a healthier response when those triggers appear? So ask yourself those questions. Now, every man and woman, we will be tested. The question is whether we'll react automatically or respond intentionally. So I thank you all for joining me today on the Real L's podcast. If you got value from this episode, share it with somebody who needs it. Like, subscribe, and follow, and leave a review. Now, wherever you're listening from, I want you to do the same thing. If you can like and comment and all of that, I want you to do it. Now, don't forget to check out Tempered Edge Callers. Grab your House of Tempered Strength merch when you visit menoftemperedstrength.com. Also, get your books. We have different resources in the community there too. So until next time, stay disciplined, stay focused, and keep building a tempered life. Salute to all of y'all.